So if you can comfortably see the wall behind you, option to reach your hands to your heels. Camel Pose or Ustrasana is a wonderful heart opener that is also beneficial to your upper back. That being said, it can be intense to get into and does require some warm-up. So here's a yoga flow to help you with that, as well as some modifications. Here we go. One of my favorites to do is sometimes a nice little camel flow. Hands to your hips. Sweep your left arm up and around. Extend your hand back. Other side, sweep your left hand down. Take your right hand up and around. Do about maybe 5, 6 cycles, and then hold. So camel has layers and variations. Stand on your knees, separate your knees, hips width distance apart. You may have heard in yoga classes, sometimes it's helpful to make 2 fists. Place them in between your knees. Right hand to your right hip, left hand to your left hip. Point your elbows back, lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift up your heart, hug your navel in, exhale, camel pose. Trace your gaze back to a back bend you do not want to run away from. So if you can comfortably see the wall behind you, option to reach your hands to your heels. Lift up your heart, press your hips forward. If you want to exit, return your hands to your hips. Lift up your heart, let your head and neck come up last. Counter stretch or counter pose, sit your hips against your heels. Rest your hands into your lap, face your palms down to start. Option to close your eyes fully or soften your focus to the floor. Focus your awareness to the space of your heart. Take a big deep breath in. Open mouth exhale. Flip your palms up. Feel your shoulders relax, breathe in. Exhale. One option and possible alternative version of this pose is to place your hands against your hips, lift up your heart. Another variation you can do, stand on your knees, separate your feet hips width distance apart, interlace your hands. Inhale, lift up your heart, pull the unit of your hands down. Exhale, trace your gaze back. The trick here is to keep your hips in line with your knees and your heart lifted. To do a second set, switch the grip and do it on the other side. So a couple other things to note. Toes can be tucked or untucked. It is entirely up to you. Another option as well that sometimes helps is to squeeze a block in between your thighs for a little bit more inner thigh engagement as well as core engagement. So this can also be helpful as you are progressing into your camel. Benefits of camel pose is that along with being a great heart opener, it opens up your shoulders, counteracts all of crunching that you do throughout the day, as well as open up your hips from doing all the sitting. So give this one a try, and hopefully it's a good refresh at the end of a long work week.